All right, so making meatballs, and I'm gonna open up one of the weekday wines. It is only Wednesday, so this is a wine I did an unboxing of the other day. Tenuta di Nizzoli, Chianti Classico Riserva 2018. I haven't had any wines out of Tuscany from the vintage 2018 yet. I'm not even sure how highly rated the vintage is in Tuscany or for Chianti. So, just with the general sense of climate shift and things getting warmer and riper, there's been so many great vintages across the globe. The things that are basically most impactful in a negative way, there's fires, there's hail. So some of the crazy weather patterns and storms are bringing in hail, which can destroy vines and grapes. But before I try this, and just to let it open up, I'll let it just do a pop and pour. And it already is a little muted on the nose, but it's showing itself to being Sangiovese from what I can tell. I'll let it breathe just a little bit while I talk a little bit about just food pairings. Red sauce to me is Sangiovese, so Brunello, Chianti, or any Sangiovese you can find. There's some other Sangiovese, Vino Nobile di Montepulciano, the Sangiovese heavy wine out of Italy, and there's a number of others. So just Sangiovese in a blend from Italy. Great pairing for things with sauce and Italian food. When I'm having something like veal or lamb, I really enjoy Barolo Barbaresco. It's like a Nebbiolo. It's not super heavy, but it's got the tannin structure to hold up to the meat, and I think it goes really, really well. When it comes to a steak, medium rare, dry aged or not, I really like a Bordeaux or Cabernet or an Australian Cabernet or a fuller body wine, Petit Syrah, the Alicante Boucher, just a bigger, bolder wine to stand up to the robust flavor of a steak. When it comes to fish, it kind of depends. If I'm doing sushi, it's going to be a dry, crisp white or sake. If it's halibut prepared at a restaurant, I could absolutely do it with like a Chardonnay or some type of white, Marsanne Roussanne, which is a Northern Rhone blend. Really a lot of different whites that it would go with, but I also do like a Pinot Noir, specifically from Burgundy, or it could be from anywhere really, but sort of a Pinot Noir with fish does work well for me, especially from a restaurant, because of the preparation, though I like a sauce or something, and I typically do like that pairing very much so. So in my mind, certain wines go with certain foods, but that's just how I function. If you want a Sangiovese with fish, go for it. What you really don't want to do is have an overly tannic wine with a lighter fare like fish or chicken. It just won't really work. Sweet wine goes with sweet desserts. You want the wine to be sweeter than the dessert, otherwise the wine will taste bitter. You never want to have a dry wine with sweets, so that chocolate wine pairing thing is like a red wine and a dry red wine and chocolate doesn't really work. Maybe it works with like a really bitter chocolate. I've never seen it be successful. Port wine and chocolate, that can work. I know port wine's classic pairing is Stilton. It's like a type of blue cheese. I like blue cheese. I don't really like Stilton. It's got a even funkier taste, but they kind of go together. So tern and foie gras are supposed to go well together, but I like foie gras with just red wine. Just my preference, right? Because I like having a foie gras as an appetizer to dinner. I don't want a sweet wine and then have my dry wine. It doesn't really fit with the flow of when I'm eating. I'm trying to think what else food-wise. With chicken, some type of white. Maybe not too big a white, but you could. I'm sure almost any white can go with chicken. It depends on the preparation. You can go with a simple prep, like a grilled prep. Go with maybe a lighter styled white. If it's got sauce at a restaurant or something like that, certainly you can go with a Chardonnay or a bigger bodied, bolder white, Fiano, Marsanne Roussanne, Viognier, some others for sure. What else? Pairing wise, food wise. I think that's a pretty good list. Pretty good list of how I sort of pair food and wine. Certainly I'm always exploring. There's always new wines I'm trying, so there's other lighter styled expression reds. There's other style, bigger, bolder reds, medium bodied reds, things of all sorts. So really it should be the weight of the wine more so than anything, and the acidity. think the acidity, high acid wine goes with high fatty foods for sure. That acid cuts through the fat a little bit. It's not as aromatic. It just seems a little close, and it is young. It's a 2018. Not that you really sit on Chianti that long, but I think a little decant would have been good for this. You know, I'm getting a little bit of the black cherry. I could tell there's a little bit of a tomato leaf. There's a little bit of an herbal component. There's a little bit of leather and cedar, but minimal. I'm not getting it in spades like I typically do when Sangiovese is just so aromatic and shoots out of the glass. This will definitely show more tomorrow, I believe. A little bit more there. Everything I just said and just amped up a little bit by, I'm just trying to trap the aroma and then get a quick whiff to see what I'm getting. And I'm getting a lot of that, so. Oh yeah, a lot of tannin still. It tastes very young. You know, white pepper and black cherry is there. Definitely a leather cedar. Sour fruit, some sour cherries is in there. Pretty classic, standard, traditional tasting Chianti with a good amount of, I think this Riserva has given it that extra tannin structure and extra texture. And the acidity is right up there. A lot of sour fruits here. Sour raspberries, sour cherries, sour strawberries. It's all there. This is more of a, what I call a more rustic, old world. This is old world wine, it's Italy, but old world tasting. I wouldn't think this is made in a more modern style. I don't think it's blended with any Bordeaux varietals. I think this is Sangio, either 100% or Sangio blended with some other native Italian grapes that are rustic as well. But I don't know. I should look it up probably. As I'm eating the meatballs, I probably will. I'm gonna reserve judgment of how good it is because I think it needs to open up. And I think it needs a little bit of a decant. So I'm gonna let it open up, enjoy it with my meatballs. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video tomorrow on it. We shall see. Or I'll just mention it the next time I do a video. That's probably what I'll do. I'll mention it the next time I do a video because I'm just going to have this again tomorrow. So I probably won't do a video on the same wine. So I'll talk about this wine again, of how it fared the next day, with meatballs the next day, leftover meatballs the next day. We'll see how it goes. That's it. Have a good night.